Previously on Destiny.
Last city. Humanity has endured a devastating blow. Vanguard scouts have confirmed that Io, Mars, Titan, and Mercury have disappeared. We don't know why. We have lost contact with Deputy Commander Sloane and Jensen Scribe Ashamir. We are deploying Guardians to all corners of the system to find answers. And with those answers, we will form a plan. In the meantime, we ask that all lightless civilians remain within the safety of the city walls, under the protection of the Traveler. Do not lose hope. Humanity has survived many horrors. We have done so through the strength of our community, through steadfast commitment to one another. Stay strong. Be brave. The Traveler protects us, and we will protect you. The Guardians will come through. They always do.
Since the pyramids arrived in our system, there has been no further development since losing contact with Deputy Commander Sloane. During the season of arrivals, Guardians endured their first quaking in the form of pyramid ships sent by the Witness, now known as the Voice in the Darkness. Whether one or many, we don't know. Shortly after, we witnessed the darkness reach out and pluck Io, Mars, Titan, and Mercury out from under our nose, and there was nothing we could do to stop it from happening. Since that time, no one has seen or heard from Deputy Commander. Some believe she is gone, others, well, they believe in the impossible. Welcome back, Guardians. My name is Samlab, and today I'll be asking, where is Commander Sloane? One of the reasons I'm excited to bring this video to you is because Deputy Commander Sloane has and always will be my favorite character. Partly because I just love the heck out of Sissy Jones. Hi Sissy, if you're watching this. Sloane is a character so heartfelt and tangible. The delivery of her lines hit you deep in the gut. Okay, back on track. We last heard of Sloane in the final moments before Titan was consumed by darkness. Have a listen to this lore entry from the book Dures Igres, titled Sloane, Wavebreaker. It reads, Deputy Commander Sloane was in a foul mood, and Amanda Holliday, bless her heart, had no idea. Titan's waves crashed relentlessly against the massive support struts of Siren's Watch. Were things different, a crew would be down there right now, swinging between the mammoth legs, working to repair and stabilize. But things were different. You can throw together a box girder and reinforce it, no problem, Amanda said. You can. I can't, said Sloane. While she had built a few walls, Amanda had the enviable engineering background to fall back on, though it seemed she wasn't much of a teacher. Amanda's hologram slurped ramen. How long do we need it to last for? Long enough to get it out of my mind, said Sloane. Since it started wobbling, I haven't even had time to worry about the pyramid. Small favors, chirped Amanda. Sloane ran a hand through her coarse hair. Come on, Amanda groaned. You're sitting on a mess of Golden Age technology on Titan. There's gotta be an engram with a bridge inside it. Sloane stared flatly. That might actually be true, but Sloane didn't have time to hunt for lost technologies. Make a wavebreaker then. Tetrapods bolted against the strut, or better yet, something out in the sea to break the wave early. If you can't take it when it hits you, you go out and you hit it before it gets started. Like this. Amanda leaned forward and did something in her ramen bowl that Sloane obviously couldn't see. "You're not looking," Amanda said, and tilted her bowl forward just enough to spill broth over her desk. She cried out with laughter. "I'm hanging up now," said Sloane, and after a cheery wave at Amanda's melodramatic pout, she did. The hologram faded out, leaving Sloane in the dark. She stayed there for a long time. In this lore entry, we get a quick glimpse during the earliest moments of the pyramid's arrival. The rig, which is a giant feat of Golden Age mechanical engineering, was being battered by waves, though it's unclear how exactly the pyramid's presence was affecting the surface water of Titan and the structure of the rig. Amanda Holliday, R.I.P., while eating some ramen, is helping Sloane by discussing ways that she could potentially stabilize the rig's support pillars and stop it from being moved by the waves. However, something is amiss. Amanda says tetrapods bolted against the strut, or better yet, something out in the sea to break the wave early. While it's highly likely she was referring to the idea of putting something in the sea to prevent waves from crashing or causing serious damage, my mind was quickly drawn to the idea of the Leviathan being in the Sea of Titan. But maybe I'm just grasping for straws. The truth is, the presence of the pyramid is causing some kind of gravitational shift in the magnetic resonance of Titan, and it is creating very large waves. But there is more to this story than meets the eye. Have a listen to this lore entry from Dures Egress titled Riastrad. It says, after she watched the Guardian ship roar off Titan for the last time, Deputy Commander Sloane went into her office and put on the Golden Age technology she had claimed from the Hive. The heavy power source hung from her shoulders like a bandolier. She draped it across her neck and stepped into the suit, vast and clumsy. As she bowed her head into the grey hood, a view screen appeared before her. She did not understand the language, not yet, but chose the green option. With a hiss, the suit conformed to her shape. It was heavy, but she had full range of movement. She focused on her arm, concentrated, and the materials scabbed into thick armored plates. This was something. She tried to form arc energy, but the suit blocked her light. Or perhaps she would have to learn how to flex her light through the suit. She selected another option with her eyes, and selected again to confirm. There was no pain as she felt the suit snake a cold tube through her side and coil somewhere near her stomach. That answered a few of her questions. Sloane lurched outside. There was a storm, like Titan was trying to drive off the invader that sat lazily in its sky. She walked into the gale, and the rain beaded on her second skin. Each step was easier than the last as the suit adjusted to her gait. A symbol flashed, and a Hive thrall charged her. She gripped it by its neck and arm before tearing it apart. It was easy. She laughed. Then the suit interpreted it as a battle cry and amplified it, broadcasted it. The sound echoed off the discarded shipping containers on the rainy landing pads, echoing through Siren's watch and up toward the pyramid. Lightning flashed in the sky, and the storm raged on. Have you got chills yet? The entry is fascinating for many reasons, but particularly because the suit that Sloane has acquired, there is no doubt about it, is originally Golden Age technology. But somehow the Hive have found a way to heavily modify the suit. Purpose unclear. Whatever the cause may be, this suit is both suppressing and amplifying the Commander in a way we've never seen before in all Destiny history. Perhaps this could explain how she has been able to survive all this time. But Titan is gone, taken by the darkness controlled by Savathûn, which is no small feat in that of itself. But surely a Golden Age bionic suit isn't capable of 1. Stopping the rig from descending into the methane ocean, and 2. Prolonging life, even as a guardian. Like Commander Zavala, we know that the Deputy Commander Sloane was as dutiful as her comrade and old friend, bound by honor and visibly shouldered the responsibility laid upon them both. And even now, it is unclear why Sloane would choose to stay behind on Titan and not flee along with everyone else. Perhaps there is something she knows that we don't. We'll have to wait and find out. Listen to this lore entry from Duress Egress, titled Overseer. It reads, Deputy Commander Sloane watched the overloaded Vanguard skiff dip close to the waves. "Watch it!" she barked into the communicator, and the craft straightened out. "That's liquid methane down there, and if it don't kill you, the Leviathan will." "Come on, ain't no Leviathan," said the pilot, his voice crackling. He was some boy from the city who couldn't have been more than 17 years old. "And if that's methane, how come you don't got a helmet on?" Sloane grinned. She wasn't used to backtalk. "Because I moisturize, short timer," Sloane said and squelched the comms. A falling ketch screamed overhead, and Sloane was on the catwalk outside the rig in a flash. She bellowed at the men working on the deck to cover clear of the cargo as she drew her scout rifle and dropped to a knee. The first few dregs were dead before they hit the ground, but the winds whipping off the seas sent her next shots wide. She figured the landing party would go for the cargo shuttle over her men, so she spun to take a sight line toward the craft, but the things were charging for the supplies instead. She cursed and leapt over the railing, landing like a crash of lightning. Her earpiece sprang to life. "Sirens watch! This is supply craft VN Stinger. Looking for a place to put down." "Landing pad 5, south side," she shouted over the crack of her rifle. "Offload what you brought, and I'll have a supply team swing by in a minute." She plunged toward more dregs, and the ketch's engines charged from a roar to a whine. A half-hearted volley of wire rifles fire spattered the landing pad from the ketch as it blasted away. Sloane called out to her team. "No fatalities, nothing taken, but 2 crates of fresh supplies." She ordered the team to the next landing pad and began climbing the long stairs back to her perch. They hadn't hit while they were loading the Golden Age technology for shipment back to the city. They were after supplies. They were leaving. She looked up at the pyramid in the sky and frowned. The door to her office closed and sealed with a hiss. A soft blue light on the panel promised that the seal was all right. Sloane walked across the room to watch the seas through the open hole blown in the side of her rig. Pressure from the pyramid ship on one side and lethal methane waves on the other. It's definitely not a job for the faint of heart. But here, in this brief moment, Guardians get a snapshot of what exactly Sloane was facing, Titan's final moments. But there is something familiar about the last section of this lore entry. It perfectly describes the seasonal story concept art of Season of the Deep, and it looks like the story is likely to begin with the Deputy Commander standing in a similar place to where the Overseer lore entry ended, but this time underwater. The most curious part about this image is the fact that Sloane's arm seems to be emitting taken light. Whether this is similar to how Ashamir endured his arm being converted into Vex is unclear, but it is possible it had something to do with the special suit she had been wearing before the end. There is also the matter of the Leviathan. The legends surrounding what this extraordinary creature of myth is are vague at best. However, in the final piece of the Hall of Heroes exotic quest from Quinn Lagri gives us a very big clue, one that shouldn't be overlooked. It reads,
Never thought I'd help save a Vex. Of course, I never thought I'd work with a smoking hot Earth warlord either. Interesting times. The occlusion is still... asleep isn't the right word, but basically asleep. I think it just likes the quiet. It's buried too deep in the network to just yank out, so for now I guess we just let it sleep. I'll let Nimbus and the City Council figure out what to do. Nimbus says you like weapons, and as Chief Archivist, I have access to some fun artifacts in the vault. Don't put your eye out.
This is big news. But you're probably wondering about this information. Yes, this info was provided by Sorteria, who has been hiding within the Cloud Ark for centuries, dormant, to avoid detection from the Vex network. This is the same AI that was quarantined by Clovis Bray I, using the Pillory Protocol, developed to contain and decontaminate rogue war mines. She has revealed to us that an enemy of the Witness is on Titan. This has huge ramifications for how the story of Season of the Deep is going to kick off. As far as we know as Guardians, there is only one thing on Titan that could be an enemy of the Witness: the Leviathan. Based on lore, however, it isn't certain whether this is the same species as the mighty Leviathan on Fundament, but the tone suggests it is similar to some, or at least potentially a new ally. The fuse has been lit by the Witness, and the Traveller seems as though it has fallen into a deep slumber, and it's only a matter of time before we catch up with Sloane to understand exactly what is going on. Expect to see the likes of Eris Morn, the Drifter, Mara Sov, Ikora Ray, and Osiris during this season. This is the first time we as Guardians will begin to experience what the origins of the universe in Destiny are, who or what is the Deep, and why the Leviathan is so important. Would the light truly fade until the point of blackout? It can often be easy to lean on the worst case scenario, to believe that we would be left all alone to drift through life and space itself. But have hope, Guardians. Even in the dark, the true light of hope dawns, ushering in a time of renewal, a time of transformation, a destiny. For now, that's all I have for you. Hopefully you found this video entertaining, useful, and easy to understand. If you did, be sure to comment below and give this video a like. Consider subscribing, click the bell notification to find out when my next video goes live. If you'd like to support the channel, consider buying me a coffee because every little helps. Remember that no matter what you're facing at this moment in time, you can do all things. Stay safe and Godspeed.